Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is October 18, 2023, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, gold remains steady after that nice push above 1900. The rest of the markets are pretty much consolidating as we look at the major economic events scheduled for today. Nothing really scheduled. So as we look at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, we're watching the major pairs pretty much continue to consolidate while the Turkish Lira inches to new lows. As we look at the indices, both the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ for the greatest part really remained unchanged. And as we look at commodities, gold holding on to those gains and oil pushing higher. Now, when we look at stocks, it's a little bit of a mixed atmosphere. NVIDIA had a gap down while the banks actually bounced nicely. Now, lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin retracing. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. Here we go. So we're looking at the Euro USD and it's pretty much consolidation. Okay, it's really not trading much and unchanged. Now it may develop into something, so keep an eye on it. And both across the board, all the major pairs are doing the same thing. Now when we jump into commodities, first looking at gold, we're going to start out with a weekly chart, and you can see this beautiful V formation hit 200-day moving average, bounced off of it, and now we're hitting the 30-day moving average. Now, this is where it becomes really very important because I believe we're hitting resistance-ish level. And if we look at the extremities between 1800 and 2000-ish level, this is 50%. So that's really an important space for us to be. So I do think that we'll taper off here and we'll consolidate around this area. I don't think we're going to go higher here. Now looking at crude oil, also pushed higher yesterday, and we expected this actually to tally lower, but it didn't. It pushed higher. If we look at a daily chart, you could see that's quite clearly above that $86 threshold, which means it's getting stronger. Now it is hitting that 30-day moving average, and it's, if you could just see it, the hair of the candlestick just touched it and then retraced. So right now we're consolidating above this area, but this may actually fall down later. Now we skipped the Turkish Lira, but just to pay attention to it, weekly we hit new lows here, 27.96. It's 10 pips, not a big deal, but you could see it's a gradual thing. And so just short and hold, or buy and hold, buy the dollar, sell the Turkish Lira, and you could just continue making money on this until this proves to us something else. But this is just the extremity of this is just so severe. And if it went to 27, that means it's going to 30 also. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now looking at the U.S. markets first, the NASDAQ, okay, not doing much, really consolidated yesterday. And the Dow Jones also just consolidating above this area, but not doing much. Now when we look at individual stocks, now NVIDIA did have a gap down yesterday. You could see that quite clearly and hit that 200-day moving average. On a 4-hour chart, it's not so meaningful, but looking at a weekly chart, we're at previous resistance, subsequent support. So we're getting closer to that area. 424-ish level is where that's at. So I'd keep an eye on this to see if this is going to fill the gap and it's going to go higher, okay, because we do expect a lot of earnings next week. Starting from this week, tomorrow we have Tesla, but next week we're getting all the big tech coming out. So this may be a sign of the times as we're getting into those numbers. Now Tesla going into tomorrow's numbers, still resilient, not doing much, okay, also consolidating around this area. However, looking at the bank stocks, Bank of America had a big push yesterday from 26 to 27 bucks. That's big for Bank of America, okay? That's a big move. Now, JP Morgan also had a much bigger move, right? 147-ish level. But this is all taken into stride, okay? Just keep that in mind, as the bank stocks did gain a little bit yesterday, but nothing to really write home. There's just so much of a mixed bag, just because geopolitically things are a little bit unstable and we're going into corporate earnings, so this quietness in the market is to be expected. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.